Hey guys, so welcome to another episode of WoW Weekly with Myst. I've got the cats in the room for this recording, so if you hear some meowing, and because they are so spoiled, they don't want me to close the windows because they want to sit at the windows, so you may hear some birds. No window closed today, which is usually how I do the WoW Weekly, just to, there's a lot of background sound outside during the week. I've mentioned it before in videos, but the cars driving by and all that, microphone picks it up really good. So yeah, I do my best to edit as much of that out as possible, though. Speaking of which, for those that didn't catch my video yesterday, which was my Mystic Land video, I mentioned that I got the mic stand and I was gonna set it up and all that. It's now set up, so hopefully it sounds better. So the mic is no longer directly on the desk. And yeah, so I have the mic stand, I have the shock mount, and I always did have a, I don't know what it's called, like a foam over the mic. But on top of that, I also now have the filter as well. So I'm really hoping that helps things. We'll fiddle around with all that. Probably in stream. Stream is the best way to tell. I did notice there was a couple of things I had to change. One was my fan. Where the mic is now, all of a sudden picks the fan up, and before it never did. You guys probably couldn't even tell because it was so quiet, the fan. But I would run the fan while doing the videos, and I ran it through streams. And because it was kind of distanced from me, and I kept it on low, it would just never come across. But this time I had to actually move it on the other side of the room so that you guys don't hear it. So yeah. I did find out that with the mic, has a lot to do with direction also. They say to have the keyboard behind the mic, so I've been doing that. I have not been able to get the keyboard sounds completely out of the mic, but I have reduced them. So the way it sounds is any of you guys that use a headset, kudos. It definitely sounds like a headset is the better way to go, but I love the desk mics, and yeah, I don't want to do a headset. But as far as not hearing keyboard sounds, yeah. And I have a mechanical keyboard, so that doesn't help things either. So, but it's pretty, guys. It's pretty. Anyway, I think that's enough of an intro. Let's get into a WoW Weekly. This week's events is Battlegrounds will be the weekly. Timewalking is going to be WOD. And this is going to be the final one of the Timewalking extravaganza. So we've been used to seeing them every week. This is going to be the last one, and then it stops, and we won't see one for a month. So yeah. So definitely, if you're going after Infinite Time Reaver, it's a great time to get some more attempts in. And then WoD, of course, has 2 mounts that you can get off of the vendor. And then there's, of course, the bonus rep, the 50% WoD rep. And there will also be the PvP Brawl Packed House. And on the 22nd, the Auction House Party will go on. As far as I've seen in the past, it's just for show. It looks really cool, though. And it's like a light show in the auction house. Other than that, I don't think it really serves any other purpose. It's just pretty lights and a dance floor, and yeah. Okay, so as for goals, my goals for this past week were rep on my Alliance Druid for Rajani and Alda McCord. Not a whole lot done on there, but it got a little further, and I'm getting a little more closer to Aldum being exalted. I still think it's going to be a couple of weeks before I get Aldum to exalted, and definitely a good month or so before Rajani gets up there. And then the second goal was to level the Lightforged Priest 82 to 100. And I got the priest to level 93. So I think that's pretty good. She might actually be 100 before reset happens, because I think I'm going to take her into some time walking today and knock out the rest of the levels, because I do want her to be set up for time walking next week. Because what I think I'm going to do, since the time walking's WOD, and I recently realized that there's a different level for each version of time walking. I always just thought as long as you were at least 70, you could just go into all of it. And yeah, doing my leveling of alts kind of, showed me that that is not the case. I've had a lot of characters leveled for a long time now, so I haven't really experienced that. They've always been max level going into time walking. So this priest who's level 93 actually needs to be level 101 in order to get into the WOD time walking, because it seems to be one level after the level of the expansion. For this past one, Panda, it was level 91 that you had to be to get into it. So yeah. So I wasn't able to take advantage of it too much with her. But I'm going to do some today. And like I said, this week when reset happens and it swaps to WOD, I've got a few characters that I think I want to take in there. They can, they are characters that I'm just leveling through Legion assaults, but the thing is, I have some other characters I'm leveling and they'll eventually get to Legion and they can do the assaults, right? I think it's a good time to level the 100s to 110, or maybe even higher. And yeah, and some of those characters are allied races, so I could knock out my heritage armor and the achievement, right? Like my Volparis sitting in like the 100s, and I've got the Hunter, which is the Void Elf, sitting in the 100s. And I'm sure there's more. Those are just the two that come to mind right now. And I will have this priest that will be sitting in that range as well. So yeah, definitely. I think it's a good time to do that. And yeah, so that's the plan for me. Okay, so for this week's goals, it will be the Rajani and Aldum rep on my Druid again. And the second goal won't be regarding a specific character. It'll be just to go into time walking. I don't want to make it a goal for the priest or for the hunter or anything like that, just because I know I'm going to bounce back and forth. But you know what? Actually, scrap that. Let's make it a goal, because honestly, if I didn't hop on time walking with one of the characters that is 100, it wouldn't be the end of the world, because the Legion invasions, right? So we will make the goal to be that the priest gets to at least 100, which realistically she needs to get into the WOD's time walking. But definitely that will be the goal, so we can at least get that done. That might actually get done today, though, just because I want to set her up for the time walking. personally, I think one of those characters is going to be 110. I'm just not going to make it a goal, but I am pretty certain that I will get one of those characters at minimum to level 110. And that's basically all I'm going to do goal-wise. Side note, but this run here, which I'm, by the time I'm done this video, I will have shaved off a good portion of the beginning of this video. Because I don't have enough news to fill an entire Ashron run. But this run was a almost deathless run. I stayed alive all the way until 20 kills were remaining. And then at the 20 mark, I took my first death, and that was basically it. Yeah. Didn't take one after that, but yeah, almost a deathless run, which, it's really just a personal achievement, like it's just, it's always nice to have like a deathless run, right? So, especially in a battleground. But yeah, so this is also a goal, but it's just not a goal I'm putting in the videos. Once the rep gets out of the way and all that, maybe I will, or maybe we'll throw it in next week, because I'll probably calm down a bit on, we could just throw it in as a third. But Ashron is actually a goal. I picked the toughest part to do first. It is to kill goblins. And I tell you guys, there are no goblins in this game. It has taken me so long to get to the number that I'm sitting at. And it's always shit luck that when I do luck out and I get like 3 or 4 goblins in a run, I end up with a shitty fucking alliance team that's like dying all over the place, right? It just totally sucks. And then when I get a good team, I'm looking at like 1, maybe 2 goblins in the group. So yeah, it's really just piss poor luck. And there are quite a few times where I don't even do the battleground. I leave pretty much before the countdown even ends for the start. And that's because I'll look and I'll see no goblins, and that's literally the only reason I'm doing these. So like at that point, it's a waste of my time. So I just leave and try again in 15 minutes. I'll probably start putting that in a goal. We'll leave it out this week, but I'll put it in there next week. The goblin kills, they won't get done this week. So like we could easily leave it out and I'd still be working on it next week. Like my 220 some has already taken me months to do, I've been focusing it a little more steady lately, but yeah, it would be nice to get it out of the way. And honestly, guys, once Goblins is complete, the rest will be fucking easy sailing. Goblins is really the only tough one. I guess Panda might be, but it wouldn't be as tough as Goblins. There's definitely more Pandas than Goblins that I've seen. But I'm gonna divide it up. Then when we finish Goblins, I'm gonna do like an easy one, like Blood Elves, and then we'll sneak Pandas in like in the middle, maybe right close to the end. Okay, so that concludes the accomplishments and next week's goals. Well, this week, if you ever hear me say next week, it's because I get so confused because like Tuesday is reset day. So like technically Monday is almost like a Sunday to me and Tuesday is like a Monday. So not to confuse you guys, but yeah. But anyway, this week, so that is the accomplishments of last week and the goals for this week. So let's head over to news. So the first piece of news I've got for you guys is that the gladiator mounts are now going to be account wide. I honestly never realized they weren't. I can't believe they weren't account wide. That's crazy. So, so I guess maybe 1% of the population will have some account wide gladiator mounts. Yeah, gladiator mounts aren't easy to come by. But kudos as well, like for any of you guys that, have all the gladiator mounts there. It's a nice change, or even some of the gladiator mounts. You don't have to have them all for them to be account wide. But yeah. So that will begin in Shadowlands. And just a side note, but is it not crazy that in Shadowlands, that will be the 30th season for PvP? Like, I can't believe that. It's like, it makes sense. 15 years of the game. Definitely more than one season per year. So it does make sense, but it's still crazy. Still crazy. It's crazy when you think of that. So this right here is a screenshot, and basically this is like a guide recruiter system that they have in the Shadowlands beta. And if you're familiar with the game, then you can choose to become a guide. As you can see, the requirements are super easy, and I even commented on a Twitter post last week saying that I thought they were way too easy. Like, I feel like they should be a little tougher, because you're just going to have people left, right, and center, becoming a guide recruiter, and they will give the wrong info, right? Because they themselves don't know the game well enough. So I think they should definitely up those requirements, because Pathfinder, they're not even asking for the full Pathfinder. It says part 1 in there. Like, they're not even asking for the whole achievement there. And level 60 makes sense, because Shadowlands, the max will be level 60. So definitely, if you are experienced in the game, if you've been playing a long time and you want to help some newcomers learn the game a little better, or just prep them going into Shadowlands, definitely take part in that. I've technically been a guide for years. I have tons of friends that have come into the game, and and tons of people in my streams that have asked a lot of, newcomer type questions. And I love helping people out. It's why I'm a YouTuber. Okay, so the next piece of news is the low pop realm connections. They have been talking about doing that again, and that is going to happen this reset. So on, actually it'll be Thursday though. So it'll be after reset. So they're going to do that between 6 a.m. and 12 p.m. Pacific on Thursday. And the ones that will be affected is Drechthel and Skywall Realm will join the Silver Moon and Moknathel realms. And then the Cairn and Perinald's realm will join the Sonaris realm. And they do say that they plan on doing this with other realms as well, but these are the ones that are going to happen this week. So I'll let you know in the upcoming weeks which ones are going to occur next. Okay, so that's it for retail news. I have one piece of classic news for you guys. So basically, with Phase 5, they are going to be some new dungeon drops. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to link the Wowhead page in the description, and you can look at the new dungeon drops and stuff like that. One interesting thing is there is a commenter in there that says that Iron Foe is going up to a 25% drop rate, which is crazy. Granted, I didn't spend years farming Iron Foe, but after 15 years of playing the game, I just looted that fucking thing over in retail last week. But like I said, it's not like I've been sitting here for 15 years running Blackrock over and over and over. But it was nice to get because I was trying to put a dent in my all the things add-on, so it was definitely nice to add in there. And he also said that there's some other drops. But the Iron Foe was the one that I thought was crazy just because I know how many times, well, I don't know how many times I ran Blackrock, but over the years, it's been a lot of times, and I just got that item. So yeah, it's, I think it's interesting that they're increasing the drop rate. I'm not yay or nay over that fact. I realize that there is a much bigger population of WoW players now. So there's probably a reason to have higher drop rates over in Classic, but yeah. It doesn't bother me because I totally understand that vanilla was a different game, and I can sit back and be happy about the things I looted that were super tough drops, right? So, yeah. If I've learned anything from BFA, I've learned that, things will upset you, and really, what are you gonna do about it? Nothing, because the game just gets easier and easier. It doesn't get harder. So yeah, it's a one hard truth that I have come to accept over the years. BFA was just an eye-opener because of the world quests giving raid gear pretty much. But, I'd already had those thoughts years before that, just BFA kind of they were like, well, if you didn't have these thoughts before, here you go. And even people who don't know the game had those thoughts. Yeah. So yeah, that is it for WoW Weekly this week. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you're having fun doing whatever you're doing, and we will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.